I can. Setting the timer or not worrying about it. We don't have to. We don't. We definitely don't have to do it. I love it. I love it that I actually don't care. I'm too scared to leave this perfect position I've achieved with my microphone.
As long as you
pour yourself a little Billy there.
Little Billy Shadows. Billy Shadows? Billy's Shadow.
Billy's Shadow.
Just one shadow. Doesn't cast more than one. And it looks like his shadow is the dog.
Clever.
Yeah. It's very quaffable wine. Remember that? We've had that chat.
Do I remember that?
You good? I've got to think of how to start. It's been a while.
It's been a while. How do we do this?
Give me a random word.
I don't know why, but the word Rebecca came into my head, and that means nothing to me.
Rebecca?
I don't even know a Rebecca.
I thought you were going to say Pearl.
What's that? When you said say a word, why would I have thought of the word Rebecca? That's the dumbest thing that's ever happened.
Do you know a Rebecca?
And then I started being like, what's a word? What's a word? I don't know a Rebecca. Okay, the word is cushion.
Cushion.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
Hello? 7 weeks. 7 weeks, Wallace. 7 weeks.
Yeah. I feel like I take responsibility for at least 6 of those 7 weeks.
I don't think so. There's been quite a few weeks
Have I
where...
bailed on 2 records or only 1 in that 7-week period?
I think 2.
I feel like it's been 2 as well. Yeah.
Because I think last week's message was just pod bailing again.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We had a busy week last week. You needed to catch up on a few Z's.
Apologies to all the skippies. I've been burning the candle at all 7 ends for a while now, and it's caught up with me.
But you're okay tonight.
Yeah, pumped to be here tonight. Just hoping that this episode doesn't end up going for 19 hours because we've got a lot of stuff that's happened.
You've been to 73 gigs.
I've seen a few shows. You've done a few shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your merch duties, you've done that.
I've been
just
roadie.
Once, haven't you? One.
Twice.
We'll get into that. Twice. Yes, twice.
Yeah.
If we can call one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That's right.
So I guess first question we always ask is, before we do that, welcome back to the Skippies. And if you're new, listening for the first time, that wasn't English. If you're listening for the first time, my name's Matt. This is Katie. And this is a podcast called Skip the Beat, a podcast loosely based on music. Tonight, probably going to be heavily based on music because we haven't, as you heard right from the start, haven't done one for about 7 weeks. So, yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I don't have a lot to contribute to the how are you. I'm so much better tonight than I have been for a few weeks.
Great.
Just too busy, just doing the stupid thing I do where I make plans 5 days out of the 7, haven't been in Brisbane like barely any weekends in those 7 weeks, just doing too much out and about. Lots of fun things, but yeah, just really burnt myself out a little bit. So
It's almost like we need another lockdown.
Yeah.
Like just to...
I really thrived during COVID. It was actually one of the high points of my life, just being able to be at home. It was great. Yeah,
No, let's not do that again.
No, yeah. Shouldn't put that into the universe, should I? But yeah, at the age of 44, I still haven't figured out any balance.
Just how to say no to things.
Yeah, that's right. I'm too excited about everything. And so everything makes its way into the diary somehow. But yeah, feeling good tonight. Even though I had quite a busy weekend, I've found some little spaces here and there to to recoup. How about you? How are you?
I'm good now. It's kind of like this is I think September has been obviously it's been coming since the beginning of the year, but it's been like this is like the rest month. now. Like, we had a gig at the start, which we'll get to, but now it's kind of like, just let's get a few things just caught up on over the next couple of weeks. And I'm actually going away to the coast for 10 nights at the end of September, with nothing
Amazing.
else on, just a proper, well, a holiday with the family, with as relaxing as Jen and I can be with 3 kids on holiday. It will be
Yeah.
no other things happening outside of that. But
just be able to focus on family.
yes,
which is
it's
nice.
sort of music. We finished a tour, which we'll talk about. That's sort of coming to an end. We've got to kind of reset now and get back into the studio. So that's all going to start in October.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like, this is kind of like, right, it's okay not to be busy. Just take a few
Yeah, it feels weird, but it
steps
is okay.
back. But yeah, today I was just like, I can get a bunch of this other stuff done that I've never had time to do. So yeah, I've been really good. Lots happening in the way of music, which we'll get to. There was a little trip we had down to Melbourne for my nephew's first birthday. That was last month, sort of mid-August. So that was fun. Had a little party.
And some cake.
Had some cake. What else did we do?
Delicious.
Saw some other friends and family down there. But apart from that, not much else has been happening. We're right in the middle of school term. So it's just the busyness of life.
Have you been moving your body? Have you been at the gym
I
doing
have,
some
yes.
runs?
Yes, I'm still trying to get there bare minimum 2 times a week, but ideally 3 times a week.
Nice.
You'll be great to know that...
I'll be great to know.
You'll be happy to know, or pleased to know
Yeah.
that it's telling you that you're getting close to 40 without telling me you're getting close to 40 is the plant. Is it plantar fasciitis?
The plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis has seemed to have gone away in this foot.
Okay.
And now it's in this foot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I went for a run feeling really good
Excellent.
and woke up and then could hardly walk on my left foot. So I was like, this
Yeah.
is absolutely perfect.
Well,
So
hopefully it'll just piss right on out into nowhere
Yeah.
if it's just transitioned
and
over.
so yeah, we're still walking like uphill. So yeah, being active. You're obviously being really active.
Yeah,
lots of riding.
Heaps of time on the bike. Since we last recorded, I've actually finalised my touring setup on my new gravel bike. So I've done a couple of overnight trips where I've carried everything on my bike from Ipswich out to Esk. So about a 70-kilometre ride, fully loaded. Set up camp, trialled everything out.
Kevin?
Kevin, his
is
name
Kevin,
is,
yeah.
yes, Kevin the gravel bike. So Kevy is, he's up for the task and now in the process of planning a couple of big rides in November. So you'll probably cover close to 2,000 kilometres in November, I think. Sorry, that's maybe 1,500. Yeah, 1,000 kilometres down to Sydney over a couple of weeks, and then I'll do at least a 500 to 600k tour at the start of November as well. So, yeah, so things are happening on the bike.
the saddle.
The fitness is coming back nicely. Getting some power in the old quarterliciouses.
What is a bike?
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I am. I can't see the whiteboard tonight, so I'm going to be relying on
literally
you.
had that. Should
Can
I move
you-
it? Should we
can
just take
you-
a little
little
second?
sabbatical? Yes, Matt, you should move it because we both know I'm not going to stand up. I had a little thing that I wanted to do right up the top. We'll get to it in a second. We were in Melbourne this weekend together for an Alta Falls gig, and Matt's sister-in-law, Liv, was there. Liv is a skippy, and she was very concerned that there was not a new episode out for her
Is
to
she
listen
caught up?
to. She's caught up, and she
okay.
said, I'm waiting for a new episode. And I said, well, Liv, I promise you'll get one this week. So shout out to Skippy Liv. Thank you for catching up. And
that's a
thank
lot,
you
'cause-
for being, one of the dozen listeners that, that just keep coming back for more. Yeah, she's caught up.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
all over it.
Good. Okay.
Skippy Liv is all on it. And speaking of skippies, I do have, I've got a couple of weird corrections and things to make. So I actually need to make a correction of a correction. So I did
So somewhere where you thought you were wrong.
No, it's just, it'll make sense
Okay,
when
go.
I do it. So a few weeks ago, I made a correction because I said I'd made a statement that the bike you and Toby made for me was the best birthday gift I've ever got. So I made a correction saying
Was Legoland.
actually Lego. Yeah, thank you for remembering. Saying it was actually Legoland.
I do listen.
And then I got occasionally, and then I got a message from Skippy Muir during the
Oh,
week.
here we go. So the bike's now in third. I can see it coming.
No. The correction that I need to make, it's entirely my bad, was that I I neglected to mention that Skippy Muir was actually on that trip to Legoland as well. And so she reached out to me in a message, and she actually was just starting to get very concerned that she might have misremembered an entire trip in her life, and she just was messaging me to clarify that she actually was
I on
there.
that trip?
She actually was there. So Skippy Muir, again, one of our most dedicated Skippies, should have featured in that correction that I made. So I'm just going to make a correction of a correction to include that Skippy Muir was equally as thrilled by Legoland as I was. And yeah, it was an amazing trip. And in the course of that conversation with Skippy Muir, she just had a couple of things to say to you, Matthew.
Oh, okay. Here we go. This will be great.
Just simple corrections that she wanted to make to you. I'll just read a message just to quote. And also tell Matthew it's not pineapple lumps, it's tropical pineapple Cadbury. So we must have been talking about something in Choc Chat, and you've referred to Skippy Muir as she actually is the person who introduced me to the tropical pineapple Cadbury chocolate. And
checks out.
She just throw her in that wagon with me of filth.
Decoy chocolate eaters.
Just
good.
highly offensive to be calling it a pineapple lump, which is, of course, its whole own other confectionery item. So if we can just be really careful when we're talking Choc Chat.
Tropical pineapple Cadbury. Is
tropical
that right?
pineapple Cadbury, correct. Sure. And then finally from Skippy Muir, and also Skippy Muir doesn't approve of bread in the freezer. So she's in Camp Katie. I don't know if you remember that lengthy chat we had.
I do.
About the Greens putting far too much bread in their freezer.
Actually, right now, I bought a loaf of sourdough yesterday, didn't freeze it. It's still in the pantry, not frozen, because I'll toast it tomorrow.
And it'll be delicious.
That's fine, because it's toast. But then if I bought 2 loaves, one goes in the freezer. It'll be well stale by the time I get to it.
Yeah, I mean, you do you, bro. That's okay. I'm just saying
I
that
will do
in
me.
In an ideal world, we've now got 2 people that are saying that shouldn't happen, and you've only got 1 person in your camp. So
I know that's 50% of our listenership agrees with you.
So
I understand that.
You might need to find some people to
Skippy
back
Liv,
you up
do you
there.
have bread in the freezer?
That's right.
You going to back me?
Unfortunately, I know that Skippy Annie also keeps bread in the freezer.
Of course she does, because Annie gets it.
Well, no, do you know why? Because Annie doesn't eat bread. The only reason she has bread is for when I visit. So it's in the freezer for me, basically.
Annie's probably the only other Skippy that somehow giggles at my shit pun of the week that happens as well.
I think
I can always rely on Annie.
Yep, I think
always have, always will be.
I think Skippy Annie's the only fan of pun of the week, but that's why we keep doing them.
That's why we're going to keep doing it. You
that's
wait till
right.
tonight. They're dogs. Absolute
Brilliant.
dogs.
Brilliant. So yeah, that's corrections. That's shout outs. It's just great to be back having the Skippies, back on board after a very lengthy break. We're going to need to shuffle onto music chat. I'm going to not go through everything because it's been
you have to go through everything. Just make it.
I'll go through everything.
Pick your highlights.
I'll pick 1 or 2 to actually.
So
talk about.
It's a night of sevens.
It's a night of sevens.
7 weeks. You've been to 7 gigs.
I have been to 7 gigs. Yeah.
Remember 7.
Yes.
Yuck.
Oh gosh. Well, the one that I'm looking at that's probably the biggest highlight is the one that I think you've forgotten that you went to this show as well since we last recorded.
With you?
No. Jesus Christ Superstar.
Ah, you did see it.
I did.
Yes.
So, and the only reason I saw it, I've been umming and ahhing about it for months, wanting to go, and just didn't get myself sorted because I've been going to so much stuff. And it's not,
I'm glad you saw it.
It's not cheap. So you sent me a message. I can't remember how many times you'd cried or something, like you just loved it so much. And so the night that you sent me that message that you and Jen had gone and it blew you away. I booked tickets that night and I took my friend Rosa for her birthday. So we went together and it was outrageous.
It's insane,
outrageous.
Right? Yeah. So did we talk about this on a pod or has that happened since?
No, it's happened since. It's definitely happened since.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was a birthday present I gave Jen.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested. Let's just have a little review of this because I realised we haven't spoken about it. I thought we did.
No, we didn't.
So Jen has never seen it.
Okay. Has she listened to the recording though?
No. So she went in blind.
She doesn't even know any of the music.
So the big thing for Jen's takeaway was her biggest surprise or biggest shock was after seeing musicals, because she loves, Wicked's probably at the top for her. She didn't realise that being a rock opera, that there was no dialogue.
There's
that
no
all,
book.
It's just 100% song from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And so one of Jen's biggest challenges with music is understanding lyrics. So I think a lot of it was like when I was saying, oh, well, that's this character, that's Simon and that's Jude, like going through. I think she needed that to help understand who was who, because without it, I think she would have probably maybe eventually figured it out. But I think not understanding or hearing all the lyrics.
I would agree with that if you went into it
blind.
It was one of the interesting thoughts I had as well. I am not convinced that the storyline made sense if you didn't know what it was before you went in.
Yeah, well,
so I'm interested in that feedback.
Well, have the chat with Jen, because on the way home we were listening to the soundtrack. I was like kind of explaining, well, here are the lyrics of the songs, and here's sort of the story as it unfolds. And she's like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense. Like I get it now. So I'm like, okay, in hindsight, I probably should have done that before. But I didn't think to. I'm just like, you'll love it, because in my opinion, I think it's not my favourite musical that I've seen. Like, it's definitely up there.
Yeah. It's right up there.
It's right up there. But in terms of the soundtrack, it's by far my favourite soundtrack of a musical.
It's flawless.
It's Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice at their absolute best.
There's no weak spot for me in any of the music.
And the big thing was, I've only ever known. I mean, I've done a high school version of it back when I was at high school and stuff. So I've seen. Remember the Harvest Rain went to? A mutual friend of ours, Big Dave.
I didn't go.
I
was living in Canada, but I remember it happening. Yeah,
and that was great. So I've loved the musical. The Australian cast of 1992.
Yeah, probably
somewhere around there. With your Farnham, Kate Sobrano, Angry Anderson, John Waters,
John Stevens.
John Stevens, sorry.
Yeah.
Like flawless. Like I would have loved to have seen that. So my thing going in was, is this going to be like close to that? Like how can you level yourself with someone like Farnham and Kate Sobrano?
Kate Sobrano, yeah.
And I can't fault it. It was
I can't fault it.
Equal. It was beyond. It was ridiculously good. Like
Gethsemane made me weep. It was just so good.
How good?
And that's Farnham's
with his guitar
high point.
And just his vocals, flipping amazing. Mary Magdalene, flipping
Mahalia Barnes,
yes, incredible, just it was so good. I would give it more than 27 out of 10. Like it just, it was great. It was really, really good.
So of my 7, that would be probably the high point for me. The low point would be I went to a really weird modern dance thing at the Powerhouse as part of Brisbane Festival out of the Netherlands, and it was just this weird like post-apocalyptic industrial style modern dance with weird costumes that sort of look like they're out of The Handmaid's Tale at times, all black. Actually terrifying. I went with Emma, and at one point I just turned to her and said, not for me. It was really interesting.
In the main auditorium?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that was brilliant about it was the way they did the staging and the lighting. It was very, very clever, the way they used lights and stuff. But yeah, it was not for me. Dance is hit and miss for me. I love to support it because the athleticism always blows me away. But yeah, that'd be my low point. And then the other 5, so I went and saw a Nina Simone tribute, and it was her daughter, Lisa Simone.
You sent me messages through that.
Yeah, I cried several times in that show. Her voice was unbelievable. That was at QPAC. It was just sensational, and hearing the life of Nina Simone, which I didn't know much about, like a very troubled, interesting existence. So that was cool. Another big high point, I went to the Black Day Out at Princess Theatre.
I wanted to go to that gig.
Yeah, it was great. And it ended up selling out, which is amazing. Thelma Plum, Christine Arnoux were the headliners. There was a few other interesting choices, I thought, for an all-ages gig.
Where'd you sit?
We sat up on the balcony.
Prime spot, BPO.
Prime spot, yep. And one of the most interesting things was that Christine Arnoux from the stage said, so she's been in the biz since the 90s, so 30 plus years. Big bangers in the 90s, which she sang, which thrilled me no end. And she said in her 30 years in the business, it was the first time she's ever been part of an all-women's lineup in terms of singing at a festival, like an event that had... So I thought that says a lot about the music landscape in Australia, that someone as talented as her has never been part of an all-women's lineup before, and I just don't think that there would be a man even who's only been in the industry for 5 years that would say the same thing. There'd be all men's lineups so often. So I thought that was interesting. I saw a couple more things from the Conservatorium of Music students, which were amazing. And then the most recent thing I went to, which was phenomenal, was Paul Kelly at the Entertainment Centre. And so he's like 7,000 years old these days. And he was as good as anything I've ever seen. Voice was in the pocket. Had one moment where he forgot almost half a song and kept turning to his backing singers. But other than that, it was amazing. And supporting him was Lucinda Williams, who's a very famous American country, I guess like country blues. She's great. She has a stroke though, so really interesting that she's come back to music. You could see physically very affected, but her voice was still amazing. Can't play guitar anymore. She used to play guitar. Grammy Award winning, so like sensational, but she's in her 70s as well. And then Fanny Lumsden, so Australian...
I've heard that name.
Yeah, she's brilliant. So I'll be going to her. She's touring early next year and I'll be going. For a set that started at 10 to 7 when the event wasn't ticketed until 7, she had the entire... I've never seen a support at the Entertainment Centre with so much stage presence.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it was unbelievable the way that she was able to captivate that stadium. First time they've ever played in an arena. She had like a 6 or 7 piece band, and
That's
it was
huge for a support.
Yeah, it was a full band.
That's
it was
like
amazing.
a logistical nightmare for tech.
Yeah. It was super cool. She was amazing, and I've been following her for a while now. And yes, it was cool to see her in that venue, and yeah, she'll be doing a couple of cool shows early next year. So
what about your little musical from last week?
What was last week?
Your one at Thomas Dixon.
Oh, I've got that on my list as well. Oh my God, that was another high point. That's the last one on my list.
Is that 8 or is that still in the 7?
That's still in the 7, yeah. So as part of Brisbane...
lucky you have me, I tell you.
As part of Brisbane Festival, yeah, I saw my good friend Emma Dean, who is a local Brisbane-based artist. We've talked about her on the pod before, I'm almost certain.
Voice right up there.
Right up there.
Yeah.
She is one of my absolute faves. She wrote a musical and it made its debut in the Brisbane Festival at a wonderful theatre called the Thomas Dixon Centre in West End, which is where I hope to perform my show.
I was about to say...
In 2035.
So she's written a musical and done it.
Yeah, she's written it and performed it in the time that I've done nothing with mine, in the time that I've touched my flute that one time. So.
I'm here, mate. I'm here. One-woman show featuring a middle-aged white man with a ute.
Yeah. It was sensational. Again, laughed, cried, all the things in between, which is what good musical theatre should do. It's finished its run now, though, but there's still stuff happening around Brisbane Festival. So if anyone's listening in Brisbane, check it out. There's lots of really interesting stuff going on.
And just listen to her catalogue. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, we've been seeing her for what? 15, 20 years
At
almost?
least 15 years,
No, it'd be close to 20. 18 years even. Like 2006, 2007, that's when we were seeing her at the old Troubadour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, she is...
Brilliant.
She is magical in all the ways, not just her voice, but just the presence. And yeah, it was super, super cool.
Gig palooza for you.
Yeah, it's been hectic. And
I guess that's what's happened when we take 7 weeks between drinks.
Yeah. And on top of those gigs, I also had a couple of Alta Falls gigs. So I'll throw to you because that's your big music news of the last 7 weeks.
We finished the tour. So
you've had 3 shows since we last recorded. 3 shows,
yes. And I think it's going to be, we're getting pretty blown away with this tour. It was spread over quite a few months. Like it started in Sydney back in May. And it's a bit of a weird one because it wasn't based around any sort of particular release or anything like that. It was just like, let's get back and play some shows again. But being fully independent and self-managed, it's kind of really hard you've got to try and sell tickets about 6 months in advance, which has worked really well. But it comes as a challenge because you've always got kind of a next gig that you've got to logistically get to. So from May to September,
the pressure point stays on the whole time.
It does.
Yeah.
But I'll come back to that because there's I think some really positive stuff that we've learned just over the last couple of months. So we did Sydney and Brisbane, which we've spoken about before.
Yeah.
Since we did the last one, we've had Sunshine Coast, Adelaide, and most recently Melbourne, which was last weekend. Really fun shows. Definitely learned a lot.
Both are correct.
Both are correct. Where am I going with this? I've got to be trying to work out where to start. So Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Melbourne, really, really fun. And it was
either sold out or very close to.
Very
for
close
all of
to
them.
sold out. Yeah, particularly sold out Adelaide. And really in the industry, as soon as something gets over 80%, you've technically sold it out. Like you can say to the media, you've sold it out. So we got that in the end with the final ticket numbers in Melbourne. We got about 86% or something like that, I think we got to, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Really fun night. Really challenging gig, though. We found the hardest place we've ever had to sell tickets was on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
We would have booked that in 6 months in advance. We purposely booked, being a first time doing kind of a regional show, like not in a big major city. Booked a venue an awesome venue up in Nambour called The Precinct, which gave me kind of retro bar vibes.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff happening there since. Like, I think it's a reputable little spot.
A lot of people get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do heaps. Cool. They did a bunch of stuff through Big Sound and stuff as well, which was in Brisbane last week.
Yeah, it was a cool little bar. Yeah.
We found it extremely hard to sell tickets. And like to the raw details, we sold 43 tickets, on which the night of the gig, more than half didn't turn up.
Yeah.
These shows this year, we decided to put on a VIP ticket, which got people to be able to come in early to see a bit more behind the scenes, like be part of the sound check, see the good and the bad and the ugly and stuff that happens there, but then spend some time chatting with them. There was, I think, 7 or 8 people that purchased tickets to that show for VIP. No one turned up.
Yep.
It was a very interesting gig. Like, you were there. You did merch for us. It was an eye-opener as to how hard it's going to be, I think, to get into more the regional areas.
It's super interesting because it was only a matter of weeks before that you'd sold over 300 tickets in Brisbane, which is just an hour up the highway.
Yeah, and it
was very interesting.
Well over 100 people on our mailing list for that Sunshine
area.
Coast, like in and around the Sunshine Coast area. So that was why we booked about 100-person venue.
So there's definitely something about the marketing strategy that you're using that it hasn't hit the mark outside of metro areas because it's working really effectively in metro areas.
And just on that too, we cancelled a show. We had we wanted to do Nathaniel and I wanted to do a couple of little duo shows at the end of the year, just to A, do some more gigs, but B, try and see what it was like to travel just as a duo, do a little bit more of a stripped back show, and whether that is a bit easier to do in the regional sort of towns. So we had one booked for November in Newcastle. There was a couple of things that kind of made helped with the decision for us to cancel that. One was we'd only sold 8 tickets. Well, 8 people had bought tickets, so I think it was maybe 14 or 15 tickets sold. Secondly, we thought it was an 80 to 100 capacity venue. Through a bunch of miscommunication, we found out it was actually a 225 cap. We thought that is we were like brutally honest with the venue, saying, look, it's not good for us. It's obviously not going to be good for you as a venue.
Yeah.
The last thing we want to do is take a Saturday night and have it fail for you as a venue as well.
Yep.
And the other reason we did that is Nathaniel and I need to get back into the studio. Like the next focus for us now post these gigs is we need to get our next 4, 5, 6 releases ready and actually not keep chasing our tails.
Because your roadie has listened to the same set now a number of times, and so she's ready for a new show.
Oh, she's ready for a new show. She's ready for 3 or 4 brand new songs.
Yeah, she's ready for some new bangers, a few new covers maybe. And
so I think that's the other thing with the spread out gigs is you don't get the time to really sit down and be creative. But for me, particularly when I'm creative, I just like to be able to do it with no pressure.
Yes.
I haven't had that opportunity. So, yeah, Nathaniel and I have made the call as well. Look, we're done now. Come October. The next 6 months just need to be writing, recording. We've got a new producer we're working with. Basically get set up so that we've got the next 5-6 releases ready to go. We can get those out, at least 3 or 4 of them out there into the world. Then, probably this time next year, August, September-ish, look at doing a tour.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be at that point then with the growth, hopefully we can get with new releases and our marketing strategy. We'll still probably have to plan it probably 5 months out or so, but hopefully we can start to do a bunch of shows within, a 4 to 5 week period, not spread out over months.
Yeah.
So that's a little Alta Falls plan for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
No talk of gigs. We're like not even going to entertain looking at gigs or anything until we've got releases ready to go, just so there's no distractions. So
Sunny Coast was disappointing, but it was awesome because just this weekend we're just freshly home from Melbourne on Sunday and finished with an absolute bang. It was a corker of a show.
I think it's even though Brisbane was killer, I still think it's my favourite gig that we've ever done. I don't know
Brisbane
what it is.
was great. It was a huge room though. This room was tight and it was packed, and it just had that real feeling of,
and just everyone was the whole. This is, I guess, from the stage, like looking down, like there was people getting into it. They were grooving. You see them kind of swaying and getting into it. They weren't talking. They were all just like eyes fixated.
And even for your support artists as well, it was definitely the most respectful.
I'll get to them in a second. They blew me away, both of them. I had a good chat with Emily, who opened.
Yeah.
She's done some amazing stuff with Katie Noonan.
Yeah.
Incredible musician. And then Lily, who was the second support, her and Christian. My word, her voice was just superb, like both of them. And I was really happy with how
They were
much
both completely different. Like Lily's voice was outrageous, but Emily's stage presence to me was just exceptional. And her storytelling, she was my vibe completely.
Yeah, both uniquely brilliant.
Artist.
I'll put it
absolutely.
there like that. Both different, unique, but brilliant in different ways.
And it was, and the crowd really respected it. And I would have to say, like, I've been to obviously most of your shows in the last 2 years, and they're oftentimes the Alta Falls fans are really obviously only there for you guys, and they talk over the support. They don't listen, but this crowd was those two, for whatever reason, managed to really captivate the room.
And the other thing that
nice.
was really good as well was I noticed that both of them and the people that they bought as well seemed to stay and enjoy the whole night as well, which was really good. So well done, Melbourne.
And they've both had some nice follow-up on their socials as well, which we haven't necessarily seen from other support either. So
it's been really good. And the week before that, you weren't there. We went to Adelaide. We sold Adelaide out, played at the iconic Grace Emily. We also had the Sunshine Coast and Adelaide gig. I must say we also missed Katie, the other Katie.
Yeah, Drama Katie was...
She was off playing gigs on the other side of the world, part of Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yep.
Of course, we said when she let us know straight away, we're like, of course you have to do that, as if you're not going overseas to do that. Like, what an opportunity. And that's another beauty within Alta Falls is Scott is also a drummer, so he was able to step straight into the drumming space for those two gigs. Amazing job. Adelaide was great. We introduced a new member to our team for Adelaide, Keely.
Yeah, I got kicked out. No, I couldn't be there. And I've got to say, Keely got some very tidy feedback about her merch abilities, and I was a little bit hurt, but I did the best that I could do, but I was told that Keely was better. So
who told you that?
Just the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Keely sold a shit ton of merch in Adelaide to people that already owned all the merch.
Keely, for those who don't know who Keely is, which is all 12 of you listening, Keely is a photographer here in Brisbane, and she, it was the West End gig.
Yes.
No, I take that back. It wasn't that. It was the one at the Tivoli.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. I just don't want to get into a correction of a correction.
Actually, the Tivoli was, yes. But I became more aware of her at the West End gig.
The Tivoli gig we did in the Little Watts Golden Stage. She came and took photos, and we've absolutely loved just how she vibes with us. She loves our music, takes amazing photography. We've used her at every gig since. And so we threw the idea out going, look, we're a couple of Katies short for this gig.
We're sans Katies for this
Katie
gig.
squared short. And look, just throwing it out there as an option. Do you want to come to Adelaide and be a part of our team, extra set of hands, help us sell some merch, look after some VIPs, maybe bring your camera, which she did, and she bought a little video camera, and she thought, yes, I would love to do that. So, yeah, she came. It was great. So we still travelled as a team of 4. It was bloody cold in Adelaide and windy.
I was just there a few days before you guys were there.
It was beautiful weather?
I was down in Adelaide for work and
freezing.
Had a nice few days.
I woke up with a throat infection, uvulitis, which was superb. Thankfully, thanks to
Uvulitis.
That's apparently what it's called.
An infection of the uvula.
Yeah, which
Sounds
I always
horrible.
thought. Side note, I always thought that was called an epiglottis.
No. What's
an epiglottis then?
That
Great
is
chat.
your epiglottis.
Apparently not. It's your uvula. Or maybe it's a double thing. Anyway. And took a photo of it. The doctor I spoke to was amazing. Just straight away said, yep, you've got uvulitis. You've got a gig tonight. Look, I can't guarantee you'll be able to sing, but here's some pretty strong shit to try. So steroid medication and other medication. Took a double dose. Was able to sing. Got through fine.
Bam.
Definitely fine by last week once I got home. Good chat. But yeah, it was...
Health chat.
Yeah, health chat.
Plantar fasciitis and uvulitis.
Mate, didn't end up in hospital. It's fine.
Yeah. By some miracle of Jesus. You didn't present to emergency.
Excuse me.
For your uvulitis.
Last time I was in emergency, I got Bell's palsy, and you said, shit, he was actually sick.
You haven't been game to go back since.
Is this it? Is this it? Is this the moment? So yeah, it was great. Adelaide and Melbourne, both amazing shows. So yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet thing now. I'm really missing the fact that there's no other show to play, but at the same time, I'm really, really keen on getting some of this stuff actually recorded. So yeah, that's big AF chat.
Yeah.
Done.
And it was only about 30 seconds after he finished that gig that he said, right, Wallace, we better get working on your show then. So he needs some performance goal to work towards at all times.
I've been here, mate. I'm here.
So, yeah.
I've got to remember everything we've written because we've basically...
I'm thankful we recorded it.
You've written your musical and together we've written the music, but I need to remember...
I'm thankful I've got some voice memos on my phone because I just listened to them the other week. I'm like, oh, that's actually not bad. Don't remember doing that. Yeah, so we'll see, eh? We'll see what 2026
we'll see
brings.
What 2026 comes. There's no gigs for me until we're not doing the musical in August, September. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, if we're going to do it, we got to get it done first half of the year. Bam.
You've also written there.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I don't remember a lot of what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
But
I got into it a bit.
I definitely got into it at the time, but I don't know that I wrote a lot of notes. So on the whiteboard, is that we're moving on to this? Yeah. So we just thought it would, being a podcast loosely based on music, we thought it would be worth having a bit of chat because this has happened. It feels like it happened months ago, but it's been in the last 7 weeks since we recorded. Triple J did its hottest Australian 100.
Of all time.
Yeah, of all time. And so I found it super interesting. I'll let you give do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I did.
Straight off the bat?
It was interesting because I was like, this is going to be super interesting. I've just said interesting 17 times. Super interesting to see what happens because Triple J, obviously their audience is that 18 to 24 is their prime target. We know this. Their next audience is they sneak a few 25s to 30s in there, but basically that's it. And then that's when really Double J comes in for people 30 plus. Yep. But I guess they were giving it all across your Unearthed, your Triple J and your Double J stations. So I was like, there's going to be a mix here of everyone who was in their prime at some point with the Triple J Hottest 100 way in its history.
Yep.
I think after knowing the results and seeing the results of course, because I knew how is not your classics from years ago not going to be
somewhere
in
in
the
the
top
mix.
10. Like, how is it not going to be? Like, I would find it very strange and peculiar if a song released in the last 5 years was number one. Like, it'd have to be a killer of a song. I wanted to name it the Triple M Hottest 100 of Australian songs.
Yeah.
Because the majority in my mind was like, this sounds like I'm listening to Triple M.
Yep.
Not in a bad way.
No, still
just
bangers, but
absolute bangers. So that's my first comment.
Yep.
Secondly, I'm a little bit annoyed Farnsey wasn't a little bit higher than he was.
Yeah, it was surprising to me.
I was also extremely happy where Missy sat. She's where she needed to be in the top 5.
Deserved, especially when you consider a Triple J Hottest 100. Missy's
there. Well, she started at Unearthed, didn't she? She's been right. She's through the ride.
She's Triple
like
J through and through.
Iconic, and she's up there.
Yeah, right up there, Matt. Right up there. Yeah.
But look, it was funny. I was talking to one of my, I'm not sure if she's a skippy, but one of my old uni friends, Felicity, who loves music. She came to the Brisbane gig. She and I were sort of messaging, kind of predicting, and I was actually really surprised because I put my list together to do the top 10.
Yeah.
Ran out of time. I had a top 42, I think. And I was like, I can't get this to 10. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's been hard enough getting it to 42.
Yeah, yeah.
How am I going to pick what
I certainly
the
didn't
10
even
are?
attempt it.
So the vote didn't go in. So I'm like, I can't really, like anything, if you're not going to be part of it, don't vote, then you can't whinge.
Yeah.
So I was like, it is what it is. But the top 10, I predicted in the chat, 7 out of the 10 were in there.
Yeah, wow.
It was crazy. I thought Cold Chisel, by the time I got to 20, I'm like, they've got to appear at least twice. Flame
twice
Trees
more.
and Kaysan have got to be in there.
Yeah.
Goiche's got to be in there. Missy's got to be in there. The Powderfinger have to be in there. And potentially twice, which they were.
Yeah.
I was really surprising how, in a way, how predictable that top 10 were. There was a couple that took me by surprise, which after hearing it, I'm like, I guess so. I guess it was a massive song of the Hilltop Hoods, like Cosby's, where I'm like, that was huge when it came out. So yeah, I got was that 2?
That was number 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
Missy was 3.
No, Missy was 4. Veronica's were 3.
That's it. Untouched was 3. That was another bit of a, that was huge at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My initial thoughts were very similar to yours, just the vast number of songs that were in there that would never in their lives have been played on Triple J. It was just wild to me. And then I was looking at some stats today because I was thinking, oh, yeah, it's all people my age that are voting. That's why that's happened. But it wasn't. The majority of people voting were their demographic.
Yep, absolutely.
And 56% of the vote was from women, and yet there was still an absolute sausage fest. Like
crazy, right?
Absolute sausage fest.
Yeah.
And I can't get
I read something similar weeks ago. It wasn't that stat, but something along the lines. It was something around. This is...
The 18 to 29s were the people that voted
but just how
by the
heavily
vast majority.
male artist sectored it was.
Yeah.
With a very... I didn't know the exact percent, but with the very heavily female
So in the top 100, there was only 7 all-female acts that had a song out of 100, and so that's pretty upsetting.
Yeah,
but there was I think something like 50% had a woman involved in some capacity, but that still means that 40% had no women involved at all. And so when I saw the amount of Cold Chisel and even In Excess, which I'm not going to deny that that's great, but then where's Olivia Newton-John? Where's Tina Arena? Where's and then the poor Veronica's just got absolutely slammed for coming in at number 3,
which I don't understand.
I don't understand
either
because
people
they were
freaking voted them.
Yeah,
you can't.
And also just why are they getting slammed and Cold Chisel aren't? Because neither of them are Triple J artists. Like Veronica's are not Triple J ever but they are global superstars. They have had global hits.
I hear ya.
And so I just felt really sad that happened to them, but it doesn't. Everyone's still allowed to think that Jimmy Barnes deserves to be there twice, and it was really interesting to me, and it was just that gender mismatch again that we just see time and time again, and it harkens back to what Christine Anu said at that gig. Women are just not being equally represented in this space, even when women are voting more. So I just found it completely interesting, because obviously if I was voting, my top 10 would probably all be women. So I would balance it out somewhat, because that is the music that I love. And so that was, I think you sort of covered most of my other points. But the complete lack of women. And I've seen, I know Katie Noonan said some great things straight afterwards about it, because, about the industry in general. And the phrase sausage fest was used a number of times, and it is just completely accurate, because that's what it was. Which is all a bit gross to me, obviously. It was displeasing, but there really were, it was just amazing to hear so many wonderful songs. The songs were great. I won't deny that. I don't recall, was there anything that you were like, gosh, that I wouldn't rate that? I don't really remember.
Well, again, it comes down to personal taste.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I guess there's the personal taste element being like,
yeah,
okay, well,
same, but I'm still like,
but
yeah,
I
can objectively say that's still a banger.
And there's only so many songs you can fit in, right? But who was it that I was like, oh yeah, I would, they're on my list. Oh my gosh, Australian band, female front lead singer.
What era? What vintage?
Late 90s, early 2000s. Oh,
Killing Heidi?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, they made it in with We Are.
Yeah, they did. Yes.
Which was awesome. I was stoked
was on my
that
list.
they made it in. Yeah.
And who was the other one that I was like, yes, they got in?
I was stoked the Divinals got in.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought that was rad.
You said it before. I was surprised Olivia didn't make an appearance.
And Tina Arena.
I didn't even think of Tina Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did Chains not make it in?
Yeah. Chains would have been in my top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Her vocal, she's up there.
She's up there.
Yeah. But just it's what I need to do is go back and listen to look. I haven't paid enough attention to the hottest 200.
Okay.
Because they counted that down, I think 10 at a time or 20 a day or something on Unearthed.
I didn't know that even happened.
Yeah. So they released the top 200, the ones that just missed out. It just absolute bangers in that.
Yeah, so many good songs.
And I think that's where you started to see artists that have only been around, say, for the last 10 to 15 years.
Yes.
Feature a little bit more.
Yep.
In that.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised. One thing that did get me by surprise was of the new artists that have been around or really come to fame in the last 5 years, I was surprised an artist like G-Flip didn't appear.
Yeah.
Because just simply they've won Song of the Year, they've been number 2 in the Hottest 100.
And had multiple other songs in the Hottest
maybe,
100.
Maybe it's because I pay a little bit more attention to them, knowing the Aiden connection that we've worked with. But yeah, I remember being like, there's no feature of them in the countdown.
I guess they've only been super, super well known. I mean, they've
Probably
been around
3
for a
years,
long
really.
time, but it's not. I was even going to say 2.
Really, since they did their drummer album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I went to that tour. That would have been a few years ago now. So it could be 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd agree with that, because there's a global thing happening there as well.
Yep.
That's
huge,
pretty
across
significant.
US. Yeah. There's no Alta Falls.
Lack of Alta Falls, significant lack of Alta Falls.
When you're talking about artists that haven't been on certain radio stations. I'll tell you what, if we were if 5GTR in Mount Gambier did a Hottest 100,
you'd be taking 5 of the top 10 positions.
Bradsky, I tell you what, that's the other thing I forgot to mention, just jumping back, was the amount of people across the tour that travelled to see us. I know Bradsky sits there because he didn't come to Sunshine Coast. How dare he not?
Yeah.
But just
poor form.
Every show other than that travelled to see us. And even he got one of his mates hooked for Adelaide and Melbourne. Michael, unbelievable human.
Yeah.
So good. He's a hairdresser, plays us, found us. from Bradski, plays us all through his salon to
Yeah.
all his clients.
Yeah.
Well done, Michael.
Yeah.
Drove from like Riverland. Like, did you hear that story? How
he drove to pick Bradski up.
No, he had to then but before that drove an hour the opposite way to drop his dogs off.
Oh, to put
then
them in
back,
a kennel.
Then so when he
Yeah.
drove home to the Riverlands, he had to then go another hour,
Yeah.
like 2-hour round trip to get his dog. I'm just like, mate, seriously.
Do your fans have a collective noun yet?
We've got the Hot AF crew. Or the Hot AF subs, or Hot AF. So yeah, I'd love to get something, but it's been circling around. Hot AF has been the Hot AF crew or the Hot AF subscribers, or but
it's got to be more. It's got to roll off the tongue better than.
if you can think of one,
that.
because I want to create a channel for a bunch of like the hardcore peeps.
Skippy's collective noun for Alta Falls fans, please. If we can get some feedback on that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Something I can create that channel, because we've got the Hot AF subscribers, but just anyone can join that wants to be. You know, I want the updates.
Yep. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Get on it.
Okay. I can't see that. How are we going?
I think we might be up to you doing something shit.
Oh, yes.
I think it's your turn.
I can't wait for this. This is going to be mint. This is going to be groans.
I think it's your turn to bring some substandard content to people's living rooms.
It's on the wrong page. Here we go.
Are we still doing that thing where I have to pick which one's which? Is that?
Yeah, but I've got to be honest. Neither of them came from that book this week.
Okay.
Just I had two, but I'm doing two.
Okay.
And I just
So I
want you
don't need to pick one that
No,
came
but
from
I
the
just
book
want you
then.
to rate it out of which one's shitter, really. Like
Okay, and
on the
you've got
shitter
your
meter.
idea of what you think's the better one.
Yeah, well, let me just refresh. So the last week we had... actually, no, let's not go back to that.
I'd rather not.
It's not. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. What does Michael Jackson do on holiday?
I don't know, but I do remember there was a Michael Jackson related one last time and I didn't love it.
Ski!
Yeah. You made that little gleeful chuckle after the last one as well.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And then this
I'll
is
tell
just...
you right
this
away,
is-
that's the second best one. Lock that in.
Perfect. Should we change that to be just a...
I think we should have both options at least.
Okay, this is more just a question, like a I don't understand why it's not. If people in the USA smile, do we down here in Australia skolometer?
I like that.
Ah! Okay.
Yeah. That's 7,000 times better than the other one.
Really?
And
I
I
thought-
hope you think so too.
I honestly thought you would be like, get the fuck out of your own house, is what I thought that would be.
No, I'm going to pay skolometer.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the pouch.
I'm fearful that the From the Pouch is also a bit shit this week. So I just had it written down for 7 weeks because it's about a story that we talked about during the edit 7 weeks ago, and I thought, all right, I could flesh that out a bit and do a bit of a pouchy on it.
I wondered if you're from the pouch was going to be our Sunshine Coast gig.
Well, yeah, I think it's too fresh.
Okay.
I think it's too soon. I might just pocket that one for
in the
later,
pouch for
though.
later.
Pop that in my side
Deep
pouch.
in the pouch.
Yeah. From the pouch this week, I'd like to bring the time that I'd like to bring from the pouch the time that you and Toby and I were riding our bikes together down the Coronation Drive bike path, and a car turned in front of you, and you slammed your brakes on, and I was behind you and Toby, and I didn't see any of that happening. And the first thing I knew about it was that I was upside down,
Still cleated in.
still connected to my bike, with my head between Toby's back wheel and the guardrail, and traffic just screaming next to me up Coronation Drive.
It's the most scared I've ever been for you. because I remember it so well.
I don't remember a lot, if I'm being honest.
Because I yelled out something like
Yeah.
stopping or braking. It obviously happened so quick.
I didn't hear a thing. I just wasn't concentrating. I'm in my own little world.
I stopped and uncleated. Basically, I'll set the story. Corro Drive, very, very busy main road in Brisbane. Kind of leads from up the river towards the city.
It's only 60 kilometre an hour, so it's not fast traffic, but it's always busy.
And in one of the sections just before the river, there's like apartments and townhouses and stuff. And there was a car that decided not to give way.
Well, she was worried because she had a bus right up her bum.
Yeah,
that was her excuse.
So this is not a street. So it's not a street where the cyclist needs to stop.
No, it's a driveway.
It's a driveway. And she could clearly see us, but ended up just we wouldn't have been flying.
No, we
were
going down. We were going downhill, but we would have been doing close to 30, I reckon.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And so she didn't stop. She just came straight into the driveway.
Yep.
Thankfully, I saw it early enough that I stopped.
Yeah.
But I still slammed the brakes on and uncleated properly.
Yeah.
To which I still remember the noise that came from behind. And yeah, honestly, it's okay to laugh about it now, but at the time when I turned around and saw you upside down with the bike in the air and your head in the barrier, you would have hit that at 30k an hour at least.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, looking back, my reaction was like I almost froze.
Yeah.
Like if I had the time again, I would have just thrown my bike across and come to. But I was like, what the.
Yeah.
What has
Toby
what
was
has
right
just
there,
happened?
sort of half holding me up. Toby sort of righted me somehow. I don't remember really.
Unbelievable. So we ended up getting you back upright.
Yep.
And took a couple of minutes. You were obviously very shaken.
I was just like adrenaline to the max and in an absolute state of shock. And I've done this on another really horrific crash. Probably my two worst crashes. I, for whatever reason, just pretended I was fine.
Yeah, you should have. We should have got you in an Uber.
Yeah.
And once we knew you didn't have to go to the Wesley.
Because we were 20 kilometres from home, still from that point.
And you were like, right. Yeah. And then it kind of hit you, I guess, 5k into home.
Yeah, to trying to get home.
I remember Fig Tree Pocket was going up that hill.
Yeah.
Where you just completely lost it.
Yeah.
And just, I remember it. I'm like, yeah,
that's
mate,
right.
you've got blood you got, wherever you got cut.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into the details of where things were sore.
I mean, I'll say it out loud. I had a hematoma the size of a mango on my vulva for like 6 months after that crash. I got absolutely reamed by my bike seat. And yeah, around the Fig Tree Pocket mark, I was like, well, that hurts like an absolute bastard.
Yeah, the bike seat went missing. Like it was
yes, still yet to be found.
It was a brutal crash.
Yeah, and I rode all the way home just whimpering.
Oh, mate. And then, you were in pain for many months.
Yeah.
That's a good from the pouch. Shocking from the pouch. But
hilariously funny now. But just, so lucky there was a guardrail.
But it also could have ended up a whole lot worse. You over the other side in front of the bus could have easily, because the guardrail was still only if you're standing beside it, only maybe hip height.
Yeah, maybe
not even
mid-thigh height.
Yeah, so you could have gone over, tipped all the way over. Toby could have, if he hadn't have stopped in time, it could have just run completely into me.
Yeah.
I could have not seen the car.
Yeah.
And then all three of us ended up in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
It was...
Yeah, it was pretty wild. In hindsight, I only have vague memories of the time. I guess I was just in so much shock around the whole thing.
I wish I could draw. I can't draw. I wish I could draw or had a photo of
what you saw when you turned around. Just what I saw when I turned around.
It literally, if you think of a cyclist cleated into their bike, Katie was cleated in and her head down and just the bike up.
Just a full flip.
Like
it was
no seat to be seen,
and just wedged. I can't even
you were
describe how small the gap was between the back of
the. It was in the corner of
and
the.
between Toby's back wheel and the. I just can't even describe how small the space was.
You were
my
a
head
mess.
just slotted down into it. So, not sure that my dad's heard that story ever. I don't tell it often, but yeah, that was a cracker. That was an absolute cracker. So that's my From the Pouch this week.
Well done. From the pouch. And on that note, I think we're done.
That brings us to the end of the whiteboard.
Vulva chat done.
Mate.
Hematoma.
Well, there's the title.
Here it is.
Welcome to season 6, a podcast loosely based on vulvas.
We'll fix it. We're still in season 4.
Still in season 4.
Thank you, everyone. If this is your first time, we welcome you and also apologise for everything.
Mostly vulva chat. It's not a great way to finish.
It's fine. It is what it is. Thank you. I was going to say we'll be back soon, but who knows?
Who knows?
It's probably going to be October now, I'd say.
I've got 3 gigs coming up this week, so we better meet soon. I don't want to get up to 7.
I'm with you for one of them.
You are. Yeah,
It's going to be great. I won't say. Let's not say anything.
Except it's Skippy Scott's son, so that's
that's right. Should we
Skippy
give a little
Scott's
plug?
son.
Anyone in Brisbane? Because it'll be out before the weekend.
Yeah, well, we should come down to the Crowbar Sunday afternoon, Sunday sesh. Great gig.
Yes.
Skippy Scott.
If you don't know what the Crowbar is, it's the old zoo.
Oh, the old zoo, yeah.
Yeah.
Skippy Scott's son, Mitch, is the lead singer in an amazing funk fusion.
Rutherford Jazz Trio.
Called the Rutherford Jazz Trio. Brilliant. And Alta Falls drummer Katie Randall is playing with a band called Tide, who are very funky.
She was very happy when I said I was coming to see her.
I feel like there's someone else playing that show, but they're the 2 bands I'm going to see.
Yes, I'm very, very keen.
Tickets
to see
were only
both.
like $25 or something.
Have
so
I paid
if you
you for
want
that?
to, yeah,
We have.
I split ya.
Splitted it.
I split
Okay.
ya.
Okay. Paid my debts.
Great little gig, little local stuff. I'm trying to get to a lot more of that stuff. So yeah, if you're around the Brizzy area,
get there Sunday afternoon,
evening. At the Crowbar. So it should be a good one.
Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you in a few weeks' time.
Sounds good. Ciao, ciao.